Welcome to Kids Academy.
Hello and welcome to Chapter 4. In this part of the series, we'll be discussing some of the most common tactical ideas in chess. And we're going to get started with probably the most common one of all, the double attack or the fork. The double attack happens when you are able to create two threats at the same time. Now, if you're playing someone who's very experienced in chess and you attack one piece, they'll either protect it or run away or capture your piece. But if you're able to create two threats simultaneously, it is much harder to defend against that. So let's go ahead and get started. So here is an example of a double attack. The queen is attacking the black king and the black rook at the same time. Let's make believe this queen was on h6. By traveling to e6, the queen is attacking the black king and the black rook. Of course, black will have to save the king, at which point we can capture the rook and win 5 points worth of material. Here's another example of a double attack. I want you to think about who is making the double attack and which two pieces are being attacked. Well, once again, the queen is performing the action. The queen is attacking the king and the knight. There's no way for this knight to come back and block the queen from attacking the king. So once the king moves, we can capture the knight for free. In this position, I want you to think about where would you place the white queen so she is performing a double attack against the two black pieces. Remember, we want our double attack to win us material. So don't put the queen on a square where she'll be in danger, or the queen on a square where black can safely defend both pieces. If you had a magic wand, where would you put the white queen so she can attack the black rook and the black king at the same time? I see two good squares. I would put the queen either on f2, attacking the king and the rook, or a7 also looks good, attacking the king and the rook. I would not put the queen on c7, even though this looks good. This attacks the king and the rook. Your queen would not be safe on c7. The rook would capture you. Same thing with queen f5. The rook could capture you there as well. So remember, we want to be able to win material when we do our double attacks. We always want to keep our pieces safe. Last one, if you had the magic wand and you could put the queen anywhere on the board, where would you place her to attack both of these black pieces at the same time? In this position, I only see one square, and that would be queen a5. Queen a5 safely attacks the rook, safely attacks the king. So this is a puzzle for you to solve. This is a real game. In this position, it's black's turn. And black has a very good move here. Black can do a double attack. And what I want you to be thinking about is which white pieces are undefended? Do we have any checks? Can the queen combine a check and an attack on an undefended white piece at the same time? And remember to look at the entire board. So the best move here for black is queen h6. This move attacks the king and the knight. I hope you saw this knight over here. I know he's on the edge, but the queen is so fast, she can be on the other side of the board and still reach across. The king is under attack, the knight is under attack. As soon as white uses CPR to save the king, we can capture this knight and get 3 points. Very nice job. All these examples we've seen so far involve attacking two pieces at the same time, doing a double attack against pieces. Sometimes the king, sometimes two regular pieces that don't involve a check. But here we're going to do a different type of double attack. You can also perform a double attack against a square, against a very important square. Usually that square will give you checkmate. And in this game, white has the very nice move queen c4. Right away, we see this rook is under attack. That's one threat. But where is the second attack? We're not aiming at any other black pieces, but we are aiming at a very important square. In fact, we're threatening checkmate on c8. So black has a very tough position here. The rook is threatened, checkmate on c8 is threatened. Of course, black should stop the checkmate. Maybe give the king a square to move to, at which point we would capture the rook and win 5 points. So this is an example of a double attack against a piece and a square. We've also seen many examples of a double attack against pieces. Okay, in this game it's black's turn, and black has a very nice move to threaten checkmate and threaten the rook. Pause your video and try to find black's best move to do a double attack against the square and the rook on h7. Well, this one's a little bit harder to see, and this is why solving tactics puzzles and doing extra work on your own will help make things a little bit easier for you. But here is the threat. We're attacking the rook on h7. We're also preparing to go queen h1 checkmate. Notice how this white pawn guards the g3 square. The king can't go there. Our pawn on h5 is guarding g4. Queen h1 is mate, and we are also threatening the rook. A very hard double attack to find, but by solving puzzles like this and doing work on your own, you'll begin to see these faster and faster. So that is a double attack. When you're playing a game of chess, always look for checks. Always look for pieces that are not being defended. Usually you can combine these pieces and attack two at the same time. Now, the one thing we didn't speak about yet is that these were all examples of queens doing double attacks, but literally every single piece in chess can do a double attack. Pawns, kings, knights, bishops, and rooks can all do this tactical idea. Queens obviously can do it very easily because they attack in so many directions, but literally every piece in chess can create two threats at the same time. So always look for undefended pieces, look for pieces that aren't defended enough, and look at ways to attack the king and give check. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.